Alright, and after the fitness studio, I moved over to the squat rack platforms. You can see I'm doing some hanging. There is just something my body loves right now. Once I've got my tongue in my palate and looking up, it's just like, you see what happens. You see my body just like wants to pull. It's really been deeply healing for me as I try to heal and correct my forward carrying shoulders. I do not want to end up having to need a surgery anywhere else in my body in my lifetime. So I'm doing all I can to regain my cervical curvature, regain my thoracic curvature, because my neck had started falling forward, which tractioned my thoracic vertebrae straight, and I just had this like hyperlordosis in my lumbar. So trying to regain my natural curves. I'm about to load myself here with a Olympic bar. If you're not familiar, that bar is about, they come standard 45 pounds. The base, you can't see it, but it's in a little base that secures one end, so you can do like unilateral work, meaning one arm. So you're going to see me start playing around with some spiral movements as I continue trying to free my body from old holding patterns and unwinding, and then I'm repatterning in posture that's much better for my body, much more open through my throat and my chest, and making my belly long instead of hypercontracted, which I definitely used to clench my abdominals, because I clenched everything from my jaws all the way to my feet. It wasn't a TMJ issue, y'all. It was a small airway issue. Heal the airway and watch how quickly everything can heal. So I'm just starting to play around with some load on my right side. I generally start with the right because my left is not my stronger side. It is definitely my side that needs more attention and more work. So I kind of go in with my right arm as baseline, see how things are moving, and then you're going to see me change it around. But before I even picked the bar up, I was testing the load with my feet. So it's just something nice to do, moving it side to side, gave my brain a chance to get acquainted with what I was about to handle. Being able to handle this load through various ranges of motions, let alone a deep squat, is like, it's just like brings me great joy to be able to get my body down into a deep squat, because I never used to be able to. There were too many restrictions. There's the left arm wanting to come online a little bit, saying, hey, let me play too. I really want to encourage you, like, if you've never been in a gym, I know it's overwhelming because there's a lot of people doing a lot of things that maybe you've never seen and you feel like you should know how to do, but how are you going to know how to do it if nobody's ever taught you? Yeah? And no offense, but there's a lot of personal trainers in these gyms that go for like a weekend warrior class, and then they think they know enough about anatomy and physiology to coach people through safe movement. So I'm not saying that I know everything. I certainly don't. I have had a degree in my craft since 2007, and I've been perfecting it in various ways over the years, but I'm only 43. I'm going to be perfecting this craft until the day I die. So, that saying, I think it was like maybe 11 or 12 years ago, I heard it when I was working in sports med in the DFW area, and it's like, I know just enough to know how very little I know, and that's kind of how it is about human movement. I thought I knew so much coming out of university, and my own body was shutting down. I didn't realize at the time it was due to airway, but I really lost my ability to move well in my late 20s, and throughout my 30s was just plagued with pain. Now that I'm in my 40s, I feel so free, and it's just exciting. It makes me feel like a playful child again. I have like this youthful exuberance, wanting to know how to do different things. And it's not just in my body, it's like, not just exercise, I should say, in my body, it's all sorts of things. Like as I'm healing wounds, I want to take piano lessons. Like when I was a kid, I want to take voice lessons, which I never have. I was never a singer. Still not a singer. I'm a human who likes to sing. And I have a broader range now that my airway's bigger, because I can take in a different amount of air in my breath. So yeah, it's really changed how I sing. I can feel the vibrations in my torso. It's probably one of my favorite things to do right now at this stage of healing. I always sing to my kids. You know, our oldest is not quite 7, our youngest just turned 4. I've been singing to them for years, but I sing a lot for myself now too. Pardon me. So I'm working in some overhead, seeing what it feels like to load axially, meaning trying to keep the weight like over towards the midline of my body. Again, always trying to get that left side to come a little bit more free. Whenever you see me tapping, it's just because that's the area I'm trying to literally get tissues to unwind in. So you're gonna start noticing as you watch my videos, I make a lot of the same shapes over and over. Rotations and counter rotations, lots of unwinding, lots of deep back bends. They're so healing, not only for like the musculoskeletal benefits, but even just like the energy centers. Like, because my hips have been healing my heart chakra. Yeah, I'm gonna go all woo on you, but I believe in it. Even though I'm a Christian, I still believe I can look at things from other parts of the world through a Christian lens, and I believe that we have energy centers in our body, and if we can better align them, then our heart and our head get better coherence. And you know, you may have heard the word attunement, because you're a tuning fork. That's exactly what you are. Your vibration, every one of your cells vibrates. Are they vibrating in fear, survival mode, like mine were for a long time? Mine now are starting to think like, oh, hey, actually, the factory's not burning down. We can actually focus on some other things. So now that my brain trusts I don't have to think about breathing so much, now that I don't have to think about breathing, I have bandwidth free to explore other things, like feeling joy again. Now that I'm in less pain, I have more mental bandwidth again to feel even more joy, because when your body's just worried about dying, being stuck in survival mode, not breathing well, and then you're in full body pain, there's not a whole lot otherwise you can think of. So this has been happy improvements for me.